for it, so let's rate all the live-action Spider-Man suits, worst to best. And listen, we're gonna start with an honorable mention, beginning with all of the homemade suits. I'm not gonna be too harsh on these. All of these are homemade in the first Spider-Man suits that they've ever gotten. But let's pretend we were hypothetically ranked them. Number 3 would definitely be Andrew, number 2 would be Tobey, and number 1 would be Tom Holland. Dead last, we're gonna start with the 1962 Spider-Man movie. There's not much that needs to be said here. This is a 1962 version of Spider-Man, but for it to be a comic book come to life, it's not the worst interpretation, but it's most definitely not the best. Next up is gonna be the Tom Holland integrated Spider-Man suit. There's just way too much happening in the suit, and I'm not a fan of the actual logo being gold. And you can just tell that the MCU is just MCUifying it as well, and the hands aren't just doing it for me. And unfortunately, just too much of a mixture with Spider-Man and Iron Man at the same time. But the only positive about the suit that I could find are the eyes, which don't look too bad. But unfortunately, it just doesn't make the cut. Next up is gonna be the Tom Holland Night Monkey suit. In terms of live-action Spider-Man suits, this one just isn't cutting it for me, because it more looks like something off of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. more than a Spider-Man movie. But I do understand that it does have history with the Spider-Man comics, so it does make the list. But I feel like the timing of when they use this suit just wasn't used the correct way. So unfortunately, just gonna have to stay this low on the list. And next up is gonna be the Iron Spider suit. I really wanted this suit to be a lot higher in the list, but since we're talking about all the live-action suits, it's gonna have to be a lot lower than I wanted it to be. Because it's a beautiful suit, and don't get me wrong, but for it to be a Spider-Man suit, there's just way too much Iron Man going on. Now, there are some positives with this suit, and there were some really amazing moments in the MCU with it, but unfortunately, just gonna have to stay this low on the list. Next up is gonna be the black and gold suit. The concept for the suit was a pretty cool idea, with this being one of Tom Holland's suits flipped inside out. And the way that this suit looked when Tom Holland's Spider-Man was fighting Electro looked absolutely amazing. But that's kind of really it, because I felt like in certain scenes the suit just didn't really pop the way I wanted it to. And the wiring that was hanging outside the suits when Tom Holland was swinging really threw me off at times. So unfortunately, that's why it's gonna have to stay where it's at on the list. Next up is gonna be the Spider-Man Civil War suit. Now, in my last ranking, I had this suit a lot lower, but when I was thinking about it, this suit is pretty comic accurate. But the thing that always throws me off with the suit is the Spider-Man logo. It's just so small, and I felt like they were just trying to MCUify the suit way too much. But considering we're talking about all live-action Spider-Man suits, this one is most definitely gonna have to be a lot higher on the list. And the way that this suit looks next to a Captain America shield, absolute perfection. Alright, now this is where things start getting interesting. The Spider-Man black and red suit. One of my favorite things about this suit is this suit feels very specific only to Tom Holland, and that's why it's this high on the list.